Well, hide your kids, hide your wife, it's turbo track time. Which means we're in for a pain in the arse level with a speed class character that I'll probably give up on really quickly and change to Penguin. You can see the M right there. Right in the middle of the track. That's going to be the biggest issue we face as a speed class character. There's obviously ways in Nitro Fueled to deal with that section. I'm not sure how well they're going to work on this version of the game. Well, that's definitely not the way to do it. That seemed to be a little bit better. Every turbo pad in this level, of course, is Ultra Sacred Fire level. Which is not that useful unless you do have some reserves. Because it runs out very, very quickly. Or if you can just like hit the pads, it's probably faster than just power sliding everywhere. Yeah, that definitely is not a nice thing to have to do. Yeah, handbrake turns are not the way to go. You've got to try and get the U-turn in midair. It's the only way. We've only done 2 laps and we've done 2 laps and there's only 30 seconds to go until Lewis finishes. We are definitely not getting it this time. Hopefully we will still unlock Entropy though somehow. He does seem to be slightly easier to control when his hitbox is like this on this particular level. Popping Frenzy. Right, Tropy has a time of 2 minutes 20, so we're going to beat Tropy still, despite how awful this was. Question is, are we going to unlock Tropy? Accidentally skipped over the thing, so I don't know. I think I got like a 217 there. I don't know exactly, so I'm not going to bother updating it. Yep, we've unlocked Tropy. Okay. Alright, let's try not power sliding really at all. Well, not at all, but like, let's try and just focus on hitting as many of the pads as possible. Oh, it's a bit hard to see where the pads are at times. The dodgy graphics keeps making them flicker in and out of view. That was a 42. So 3 of those would put us at 2 minutes. Approximately. Just over. Okay, trying to remember that there's this one here. It's obviously a good boost to get. That kind of works. It's weird and it's buggy. It doesn't always work. $39. Okay, that's made up for the really bad lap 1 to some extent. Actually, maybe not all of them are Ultra Sacred Fire. I thought that was the case. I thought the deal with this level was that every turbo pad was Ultra Sacred Fire. Now I'm not so sure. That was an awful way to take this. It's definitely lost me a lot of time. 2 seconds. Okay, 2:03:58. We aren't that. We're going to beat Lewis with speed class. As dodgy as this is, This is definitely well within our reach with a speed class character. And arguably, that's even more impressive than beating him with a turn class character on this level, just because of how dodgy the turns are. We also managed to beat Oxide that time as well, a little bit of an achievement that went under the radar. Beating Oxide by attempt number 2. That's an Ultra Sacred Fire. You can hear the difference in the engine. The other ones, I don't think they are, or at least not all of them. That one's also Ultra Sacred Fire. You can, if you listen closely, you can hear it. So it's about figuring out which ones are the Ultra Sacred Fire pads, and then trying my best to make that boost last a little bit longer. Must have missed it that time. We're too far off. I anticipated it would come down to the M section, so I'm not entirely surprised that it's going to be the biggest problem that we face. Don't want to do that, but I keep doing it. Not a good lap, but I am still within range, so I want to keep going a little bit longer. See if I can turn this around. I think we might be too far off at this point. Yeah, my Ghost is like way in the lead. That was better. That wasn't any good. There's got to be a better... What am I doing that's so shocking? Sometimes I'll U-turn correctly. Other times I will just like slide really, really far off. There must be like some kind of really specific timing for it to do what I want it to do. And I did quite well to get it on the first... Well, not the first attempt. The attempt that I did really well at. Oh wow, that allowed me to catch up quite a lot. Oh my gosh. It's actually kind of depressing how close I got to beating Lewis so early on. Now I'm somehow getting worse at taking the turns. Still ahead, barely. Oh, now I'm behind. Looks like we're going to be beating this challenge with our ass in the air, providing I can do Old Reliable one more time. Oh no. Come on. Keep it alive. Go, 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 go. You go so far back, it's not even funny. Come on, what's that? 202.62. It is an improvement, but not enough of an improvement. Just over a second off. We can do this. Definitely would be easier with Penta, but we're very, very close to doing something pretty impressive. Doing this track with a speed class character. Well, it's impressive to me. I'm not sure how impressive it is to anyone else, but the rest of the track's not that bad. It's literally just this section here. This is the real final boss. Forget about Oxide Station. This is where it's at. I love how my ghost retains his shape, even though just then I would have, like, careened into the wall and gone flat and floppy. But nope, the ghost actually maintains it as though you don't have that graphical glitch. There it is. When I hear that engine change, I really need to try and avoid turbo pads. Because it just slows you down again. So I need to get used to, like, oh, that's an Ultra Sacred Fire connection. Avoid turbo pads for a second. Because you will go faster without the turbo pads. How do I keep missing such a simple thing at the very start of every run? There we go. Yeah, that's it. That's better. You want to just avoid turbo pads while you're riding the Ultra Sacred Fire wave. Back on, please. Thank you. Very slightly ahead. We'll take that for now. It's going well so far. Didn't want to do that. We are still ahead though, and that's all that matters. As horrible as that was to witness. Not that far, please. Oh no. Was that bad? Was it that bad, huh? $288. Okay, yes. We did it. We beat him. 16 attempts, but that didn't take all that long. It took about 20 minutes, despite all the attempts. That was a challenge. That was difficult. I feel like as that was the last track to do, it feels only right that we try and get sub 2 minutes as one last goal for ourselves. Had a bad lap 3. Can I capitalize on that? Not looking likely so far. I'm pretty far behind. No, lost it. It's totally within reach though. That run I did, there was a lot of mistakes, especially in lap 3, that I can just capitalize on. It should be not too difficult. One of the things is just riding these turbo pads correctly, just at the right times. It seems to be that you connect with Ultra Sacred Fire as long as you've done some kind of boost before the turbo pad. Not like that. I don't know why. This should be like the easiest thing in the entire run, is just getting the starting boost. That would be a great start. But getting that first turbo boost, I keep missing it, and it's really bad that I'm doing that. Wow. I'm usually missing it the other side. I amaze myself. Ooh, my goodness gracious me. It's just not possible. I can't get the pad. I'm either going too far one way or too far the other way. See, I should have avoided that turbo pad there and I would have kept going with full speed. I don't want to hit that pad if possible. I'm trying to avoid it. That one's also annoying, but not as bad. So you're not going to careen into something. I'm so far behind again. Fuck's sake. $157.12. Get yours. Big improvement. 3-second improvement. That's huge on a track like this. And that's a good time to retire on, beating Lewis by 4.5 seconds. Yes. We've done it. We've beat Oxide and Lewis on every single track. We are now CTR Retro Kings for the time being. Just enjoy the stars. Not even sure if I have access to the scrapbook now. Yeah, there it is. The legends have foretold. This is the first time in my life I've looked at this scrapbook legitimately. Not that anyone usually cares all that much about concept art, but I'm guessing there's a few people in the community that cared about that Pamela Anderson concept art that we just went past. Yeah, so you can see Crash has all these wacky sort of facial expressions. I distinctly remember an interview with one of the original devs saying that they were a big fan of Looney Tunes cartoons, and that's where they got the idea for Crash Bandicoot from. Back then he was obviously called Willy Wombat, but at the time they were like, oh, Looney Tunes, we really like this expression, the expressions that the characters can have, the diverse, funny, gimmicky expressions. And so, yeah, they decided to try and bring it to the PlayStation. And I remember in the same documentary them talking about how the PS1, as good as it was and revolutionary as it was for its time, it wasn't strong enough to do everything they wanted to do with the game. And Crash's expression takes up a lot of the memory just in every single level that's loaded in. This is pretty cool. I don't usually give a crap about concept art, but it feels like I'm looking at a bit of history here. Say goodbye. So yeah, while this is playing through, I might as well talk about what's next. So there's 2 more videos I would like to make on CTR Retro. Yeah, it may expand beyond that, but let's see. Initially, so the next thing I'll be doing is beating Lewis's times again with a turn class character on all the tracks that I didn't beat him with a turn class character on. So that is basically every track except for Tiny Arena. I've already beaten him with Pen to Penguin on Tiny Arena. So the other 15 tracks I'm going to have to do again. But unlike this series, it's not going to be a single video per level. It's going to be just a highlights video of me beating all of the times again, because it'd be no fun you guys watching me do the exact same thing again, just but with a turn class character. That means that it may take a little bit of time for that video to get done, because I'm gonna, you know, record all of the levels before putting that video out. So you might see that in a couple of weeks or maybe a month, it depends. Another video I would like to make on this particular game is going through the levels with, going through each level with every single character as like a gimmicky self-tournament thing. Which character can I drive the best with? Again, that's going to be something that there's no set date for coming out, but I'm going to work towards doing that. And then the final, and then after that, like, or I should say alongside that, I've still got the Crash 4 streams that I'll be doing. But yeah, I'm going to need to think of another Crash game to go through. Some people obviously talked about maybe doing Bash, but if I do a Crash Bash thing, I will wait until it's been a good amount of time since Lewis's series has been done, because you guys will have been bombarded with Crash Bash content for the past couple of months. Got fake Crash. So it'll be good to give a little bit of a breather before you see that again. I'll be doing the dev time that I owe for reaching 700 subscribers. Again, thank you for those of you who have subscribed recently to make me get 700. That'll be Boneyard for Crash 3. And then, yeah, I'll need to think of another Crash game to go through. I've just done Twin Sanity, so I've got to do the highlight videos for that at some point as well. I guess it's going to be either the Game Boy games or something like that. Yeah, I don't really have that many choices. I want to leave a little bit of a break between doing CTR and even Nitro Kart and Nitro Fueled, just again to do something a little bit different in the meantime. But I will circle around and do those games as well at some point. The old computers that they had to work on. Man, we've got it good. Hey, thanks for playing. We made it through the entire scrapbook. All 15 members of the dev team signing it. It's crazy, right? Just the amount of passion that these small teams would create back when gaming still had a lot of innovation to it. But yeah, that should be enough for this video. That's going to conclude the TurboTrack video. It has been a lot of fun beating Lewis on this game. It's been 50-50. I would say 50% of the tracks it's been really easy to beat Lewis on. 50% it's been a bit harder. And as always, I'll do a ranking video as well to do two things. The first part of the ranking video, I'm going to rank the tracks from which one I enjoy playing the most to the least. And then I'll rank which of Lewis's times were the more difficult to beat. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. And see you on our next Crash Big Adventure.
Because I know these give an insane speed boost, like insane. As in, you want to grab all of these. They're just way faster than mini turboing. I mean, whatever works, right? Whatever gets me around that goddamn corner. Oh, mini turbo where there's like no pads for a bit. Like here. I'm just like gonna avoid that just so I can get around here quicker. In fact, that's the goal. When I go around that section, don't hit the fucking thing, because I can turn or I can drift around it, and it's much quicker. Oh, he's falling behind. I was told this track was not hard. But yeah, it's definitely looking like that. Will I be able to do this section good at least once? No, I've already hit the wall and I've hit the boost pad. Yeah, I just have to brake and lose speed. Oh man, when you're not going on them super boost pads, it feels so slow. That was TurboTrack, and that was all Oxide time trials in the original CTR. It wasn't that difficult overall. Engine Labs was one that stood out. On every other track, if you drift and play properly, you will win. On Engine Labs, you won't unless you utilize that super flame. So that's why that one was interesting and stood out. All the others, they weren't that bad.